The first encounter between Africans and extraterrestrial beings occurred more than 7,000 years ago in a now forgotten part of Africa. Out of the skies, we are told, there descended a fearsome object, a huge spherical object with many things protruding out of it. This spherical object descended to earth with a sound like 1,000 thunderstorms. And it settled in a valley, we are told. And immediately that valley was mysteriously filled with water. Water cascaded from the slopes of the surrounding mountains. Waters burst forth from rocks where no water had been before. And the water roared down the mountain slopes to fill the valley in which the strange object was. It is said that a number of days went by while the object floated in this new great pool of water. The people were amazed. The people were astonished. The people were afraid. But something kept them coming to that spot until hundreds of them were gathered upon the tops of the surrounding mountains, upon the slopes, behind great rocks and under trees. It is said that a door opened in this strange metallic sphere, and out of the sphere there came a long line of strange creatures, creatures that walked like human beings, creatures that had webbed feet and webbed hands, creatures that had the faces of fishes but the bodies of human beings. It is said that these creatures walked down the gangplank very painfully. Each one of them was carrying a stick at whose top a light shone. Green lights, yellow lights, red lights, and violet lights. It is said that the leader of these amazing scaly creatures wore a crown around its head from which blazed a stone even brighter than the sun itself. And the leading creature stood on the gangplank while its followers swam in playful circles around the huge spherical craft. The leading creature lifted up its stick and its right hand, and it addressed the people as follows. People of this world, we are the Numu people of Kiri Dahu. We come from the star you know as the star of the red dog. Listen to our words, because we have been sent by a very high one in a high place to make certain truths known to you. The people listened spellbound as the strange creature spoke. It spoke for days, we are told, telling our people about the mysteries of the cosmos. It spoke for days, we are told, telling our people about the mysteries of creation. The creature told our people that the race of humanity was once great amongst the stars, that human beings were once the leading race in the great cluster of stars, the galaxy. The creature said that because human beings were so vicious, so aggressive towards other intelligent creatures and towards living things in general, a great war broke out amongst the stars as several worlds joined forces against the human race, fought it and drove it away from the center of the great star flower to seek refuge in this forgotten world of ours. The Ngumu, or the Numu, or the Nomo told our people that there were many races amongst the stars, races of living beings who were afraid of us human beings, who kept us under constant observation to ensure that never again do we become a threat to other intelligent creatures amongst the worlds. The Numu, or the Nomo, told the people that if we human beings could get rid of hatred, if we could get rid of war, if we could get rid of disease, if we could get rid of selfishness, the great gathering of the star worlds would once more receive us with open arms to take once more our rightful place in the great kingdom of the worlds. The Ngumu taught us that we must at all times respect the earth upon which we live. The Ngumu told us that our earth, the earth in which we live, was artificially created in order to breed and to sustain life, life which would then spread to other worlds amongst stars beyond number. The Ngumu said, "Oh, earth-dwelling brothers and sisters, you must understand who you really are. You must understand how great you are. You must understand how great you once were. And you must know that a living thing that does not spread out to the stars sooner or later dies out. And that if you do not follow us into the dark spaces above, you shall exterminate your earth and eventually shall exterminate yourselves. And the earth, which is a womb world, a breeder of life, will be once more empty of living things." It is said that after the Nomo had told our people all these things and many more, it did a strange and frightening thing. It produced a kind of device, and it destroyed itself with this device. In other words, it committed suicide. It fell upon the metal gangway and the others came out and cut it up. It was cut into little pieces, and these pieces were roasted upon a sacred fire. And a number of people, African people, were chosen to partake of a strange feast in which the dismembered body of the creature was ceremoniously eaten both by Africans and by the other Nomo. Then the dead Nomo was replaced by a female Nomo as the leader of the expedition. And this Nomo female said that by this gesture do we who come from the star of the red dog seal a pact between ourselves and you human beings. By this gesture do we promise this, that if you get rid of war amongst yourselves, if you get rid of arrogance and quarrelsomeness, if you banish disease and bid farewell to hunger and poverty, then we, the Nomo, shall return, and we, the Nomo, shall take you by the hand and lead you, human beings, to the throne of the stars. The Nomo people were seen once and once only, and their ships never visited this earth again. We do not know why. Throughout Africa, amongst all tribes, you find this incredible story of how a strange race of lizard-like beings came to us at the dawn of time and gave us knowledge which was astonishing. These beings left this instruction that although the human being is created to look for knowledge in all its forms, the human being must under no circumstances use that knowledge to destroy the earth in which it lives. The Nomo told our people that in the past many million years, tens of thousands of worlds have been destroyed in the deeps of space through the aggressiveness, the stupidity, and the rampant ambitions of the races of intelligent creatures that inhabited those worlds. Take care that you do not, in your search for knowledge, destroy the earth which is your mother, said the Nomo. The Nomo's words made a lasting impression upon African people throughout Africa. Africans were not the stupids that some people today believe they were. Our people had knowledge of many things that they are not today given credit for by the world. But they kept that knowledge within very strict restraints. They knew about wheeled vehicles. They knew how to make a wheel, and in the language of all tribes throughout Southern and Central Africa, we have a traditional name for a wheel. In Zulu, it is called isondo, the rolling bringer nearer, the rolling object that causes another object to come closer. Then why did our people not build wheels? The answer is very simple. They feared that the building of wheeled vehicles might bring about the destruction of the earth. When a Zulu boy was growing up, he had to be an expert with the bow. He had to be able to use the bow and the arrow to survive in the bush. He had to be so good as to be able to bring down a running guinea fowl with one arrow at 20 paces or more. But the great laws of the Nomo forbade the Zulu people from using bows and arrows in battle, even against an enemy armed with muskets and rifles, as the white settlers were. The laws of the Lords of the Red Dog Star forbade us from killing our enemies with impersonal weapons. Our people knew about microscopes. This disc here has got tiny holes in it. These holes were filled with fresh water by the wise men who owned this necklace before me. And looking through this hole, when it is filled with water, at an object, the magnification is amazing. Our people could see germs. They could see bacteria. And they gave it a name, and they saw it through microscopes such as this. Now, when Zulus saw germs, they called them amagciwane, the most ultimate animals, the tiniest living animals. When the Basotho people saw germs through their water drop microscopes, they called them dinonokana, the tiny creeping tormentors. And when the Shangaan people of Mozambique and the Eastern Transvaal saw germs, they called them ntsongana. But they were forbidden by the great laws of the stars from using this knowledge in the same way that Western people have used their knowledge. You had to know certain things. You had to be aware of them. But God have mercy upon you if you tried to build them. Then you were executed by the king without mercy at all. The necklace that I am wearing now, which is known as the smaller necklace of the great mysteries, was made by a Bapedi family in the northern Transvaal just over 500 years ago. And when the blacksmith had finished making this necklace, he and his sons and apprentices were all executed by being flung down a mine shaft to their deaths. Why? Because The secret of shaping Vedite, the secret of shaping and drilling through this very hard stone, the secret of engraving the copper here, had to die with that blacksmith and never exist on earth again. Today, many nations ridicule the African as a creature which never made any contribution to civilization. That accusation is false, racist, and should be rejected with contempt. Your religion can enable you to reach the stars, but your religion also can act as a powerful chain that restrains your creativity. It was so with us Africans. We were not isolated from the rest of the world. Traders came to Africa in ships and they traversed Africa in land vehicles. In caves in the Sahara Desert are shown paintings of men riding chariots. Wheeled vehicles were no stranger to us Africans, but we were forbidden by our religion from building them. The people of Africa have been coexisting, really coexisting, with alien beings from the stars for tens of thousands of years.